Listen carefully, because what's about to drop here is the raw truth that almost nobody dares to say out loud. Traditional private equity? It's broken. Not just needs improvement, but fundamentally, soul-crushingly flawed. You, sitting there as a founder, an investor, a leader who's used to playing by the old rules, you know the pain. Endless layers of middlemen starving value, opaque decision-making that feels like a rigged game, liquidity locked up for years, and the agonizing wait just to find out if your hard-bled capital actually worked. Every single dollar tied down by structures that throttle speed, crush innovation, and punish boldness. It's a system designed for safety, for predictability, but it's killing your hunger to build, to disrupt, to leap forward. And then there's the maddening frustration of access. How many times have you seen game-changing deals sealed behind closed doors? The club that decides who gets in and who stays outside. You're frustrated because you know there's a better way, a way to break free from this chokehold, one that rewards genuine value, genuine speed, genuine innovation, not just old-school connections and politics. Now imagine this, a world where you don't have to wait years for liquidity, where transparency isn't a buzzword but an everyday practice, where deals are not shackled by lawyers' desks and labyrinthine structures but executed in real time, open to anyone with vision and conviction. This isn't fantasy. It's the promise and roar of decentralized finance DeFi. A radical shift tearing down the walls built by traditional funds and delivering raw, unfiltered power back to you, the founder, the investor, the visionary. But don't get it twisted. DeFi isn't just about replacing banks with code, it's about unleashing a new ecosystem where capital flows with the speed of the internet, where governance is democratized, and where the value you create is tracked, measured, and rewarded instantly. It's about tearing down the gatekeepers, bulldozing the silos, and handing you the keys to a brand new engine of growth and accountability. Here's the brutal truth you need to confront right now. If you stick with old private equity models, you're going to be left behind, while others rewrite the rules and take the lion's share. So here's the emotional call to arms. Stop waiting for permission, stop begging for access. It's time to dive headfirst into understanding and mastering DeFi as the muscle that will flex your investment clout and entrepreneurial edge to unprecedented heights. Start by educating yourself relentlessly about tokenization of assets, the game-changing way to break down big illiquid holdings into flexible, tradable pieces. This alone dismantles the rigid timelines that strangle traditional funds. Think about it. Instead of locking capital for 10 years, you get to keep liquidity at your fingertips, sell, reinvest, or rebalance instantly. Demand that your deals embrace this innovation. Founders, push your investors to accept tokenized equity or tranche structures that reward early risk takers transparently and fairly. Next, embrace smart contracts, those unforgiving digital agreements that eliminate ambiguity and reduce costs. These aren't just tech novelties. They are the linchpin in guaranteeing trust without needing armies of intermediaries. If you're an investor, don't tolerate vague fund terms cloaked in legalese. Insist on funds where distributions, KPIs, and governance votes are executed transparently on-chain. This cuts down corruption, manipulation, and endless disputes. No more waiting months to know your fund's real performance. Instant clarity is the future, and you must claim it. But beyond technology, this is about mindset. Decentralized finance demands you own your freedom fiercely. You no longer have to accept passive roles, waiting on managers to decide your fate. Become active participants in your investment's lifecycle through decentralized governance tokens. Vote decisions, influence deals, demand accountability. This isn't just investor empowerment, it's a revolution against the old order where assets and capital were weaponized by a few at the top. And founders, hear this loud and clear. DeFi can open your fundraising funnel to a global, borderless network of micro and macro investors, breaking every ceiling imposed by geography, legacy relationships, or regulatory stonewalls. You can raise directly from communities that believe in your vision, not just wealthy insiders who want status quo winners. Build on platforms that are transparent, fair, and built on community engagement. Drop the gatekeepers disguised as partners. This shift is not coming tomorrow. It's happening now. And it's pulling the rug out from under slow, clunky systems. you might feel overwhelmed by the complexity and the speed of change. The old world was safe because it was known, slow, predictable. But predictability is the enemy of growth. Growth demands risk, adaptation, and relentless evolution. So here's the secret weapon. You need to double down on collaboration with others daring enough to explore this space. Form networks that blend founders, investors, builders, the exact recipe traditional private equity fears because it breaks their monopoly on control. These networks become your lighthouse in a shifting sea, your forge for ideas, and your vault for collective strength. The system will fight back, mark these words. Traditional gatekeepers will call DeFi risky, unstable, a fad. They will invoke regulation fears and complexity nightmares to scare you back into the safe arms of outdated models. Don't fall for it. Risk is real, but stagnation is a slow death. The choice you make now is whether to be trapped by yesterday's failures or to join a new movement of pioneers, building a post-tribal, strategic global capital ecosystem that demands meritocracy, transparency, and liberation of capital. If you walk away from this moment unchanged, don't be shocked when the next generation of founders and investors leaves you in their dust. But if you absorb this, internalize it, and act, it will ignite a power inside you that dismantles every limitation imposed by the past. A relentless, clear-minded force that not only disrupts, but reconstructs your entire capital approach for freedom and maximum impact. So here's the step-by-step order. First, arm yourself with knowledge, deep, no-fluff study of DeFi primitives, tokenization, DAO governance. Then, search out platforms and opportunities that embrace these innovations in private equity and venture capital. Third, start small if needed. Test deals, pilot tokenized funds, build your reputation as a pioneer, unafraid of the frontier. Fourth, connect intensely with a global network of like-minded founders and investors who demand accountability and speed. This network is your shield and your accelerator. And finally, commit to relentless evolution. Stay hungry, stay curious, reject comfort zones, because the future won't wait for the hesitant. This revolution isn't just financial, it's existential. It's about reclaiming your freedom as an individual investor, as a founder who builds, as a leader unafraid to challenge old power structures. The chains of traditional private equity bind the many to privilege the few, but DeFi tears them off to unleash capital and creativity like nature itself, fast, open, and unstoppable. Own your future, break the system, be the few who liberate the many. Step into DeFi now or watch from the sidelines as the world moves without you. This is your moment to transcend the old illusions and grab hold of real, unfiltered, unbridled freedom in finance. Don't just watch the future happen, make it happen. Now,